Welcome to the Dental Team Podcast. I'm your host, Kira Dent, and I have this crazy idea that maybe I could combine a doctor and a team member's perspective because let's face it, dentistry can be a challenging profession with those two perspectives. I've been a dental assistant, treatment coordinator, scheduler, biller, office manager, regional manager, practice owner, and I have a team of traveling consultants where we have traveled to over 165 different offices coaching teams. Yep, we don't just understand you, we are you. Our mission is to positively impact the world of dental, and I believe that this podcast is the greatest way I can help elevate teams, grow VIP experiences, reduce stress, and create A-teams. Welcome to the Dental Team Podcast. Hello, Dental Team listeners. This is Kira, and you guys, you are in for the best treat of your life, Consultant Takeover. That's right. Get ready. They are dropping some dynamite. Our consulting team is incredible, guys, and we are so blessed and so fortunate to have them sharing tips and tricks with you today. And as always, thanks for listening, and I'll catch you next time on the Dental Team Podcast.
Oh, hey, Dana. Thank you so much for recording with me again. I stole you twice this week for recordings, and I'm just so happy that you're always willing to jump in with me and just GSD on this stuff. How are you?
Doing pretty good. Excited to be here, even for round two. Same. I just always think these are so much fun and bring a lot of value too.
Thank you. I love getting the information out for everybody. So this month's heavy focus is really like organization within the practice. And you, for our clients, you actually you and Britt host an operations manual course for our clients. Sometimes we open it up to non-clients as well, so watch out for that, guys. But I thought it would be really cool for us to incorporate some of that into our podcast this month and really talk about the organizational part of the business side and what that needs to look like so that practices can like easily onboard people, easily retrain people. I know there's people that have been in a practice for 5-10 years that they're like, oh my gosh, I forgot we do that thing, or I forgot we were going to implement that. And it's just because we don't have a lot of the systems and tools and things written out. So I thought that would be fun for us this month to really dive into a lot of those things. And I thought one piece that I think most dental practices are missing, in my opinion, and they don't even realize that they're missing it or that it's important or why it's important, is the org chart, the organizational chart of the practice, meaning like the people and the titles and all of those pieces. So I wanted to chat a little bit about that today. And Dana, you've built out a ton of org charts at this point. You've done it a million times within the course, but then I know you do it with a lot of your practices. Where do you feel like, actually, let's start with like, why the org chart? Why do you feel it's valuable for your clients, and why do you implement that into some of your coaching with your clients?
Yeah, sure. And I think really the biggest thing is clarity for everyone from top down, right? Our leaders, our team members, owners, clarity on roles, and then clarity too on who to go to, right? For things, with questions, to deal with issues, anything like that. So I really think that an org chart truly brings clarity to an office in those pieces.
Yeah, I love that. I love that you said that clarity piece. So you guys, it's really simple. And I think we tend to overcomplicate things in the business world, especially because you guys got into dentistry. You didn't learn a lot of business while you were in school. And then it appears that it needs to be this like grandiose, difficult thing to achieve. And it's really not. We like to simplify things. We like to make them as easy as possible because we want them to be easily understood by everyone and implementable within the practice. So that org chart brings that sense of clarity. And like Dana said, it's who can go to who, like who is your next in line? Who's the person that you can communicate to get something done? So I know I build out a lot of these for my practices as well, big and small, because no practice is too small to have an org chart. And the place where I think people get hung up, Dana, and maybe you have a different opinion, and I would love that, but I feel like people get hung up on the people that they have on the team. And so they build things around the person rather than building things around that ideal position. So person aside, what would this position do, and who would they go to? What can people count on them for? So how do you help practices, Dana, get out of that mindset of the people and really just the job?
Yeah. And I love that you said that, because it is, I think, the biggest struggle. And I really flat out say, that's what I want you to think of: the position right?
Yeah.
Not the person that is in the position. So let's design it for what you truly want, what you truly need, right?
Yeah.
Not based on who you currently even have in that seat, or maybe we don't even have that seat created
Exactly.
yet.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that. That's what I say all the time. What would your ideal be? So you might not have that concierge front desk person who's welcoming your patients in. You might have just an office manager up front right now or a treatment coordinator, but your aspirations, your goals are to have that concierge person. So put that on your org chart, and who would that person be accountable to, really? And I think that's a good word to actually slide in there, because org chart sounds daunting sometimes, but it's just an accountability chart. It's like, who can we count on for certain things, and what can they count on from us? So to build it out, it's very, very simple. All you need to do, you guys, is just brainstorm all of the positions in your practice that you currently have. Remember, positions, not people. And then any positions that you're aspiring to add to your practice. Again, not people, but the positions. And what this does is it allows you to create the ideal positions for your practice, and then make sure that you've got right seat, right person. So if it's a position that you haven't created in your practice yet, and you're going to be hiring for it, you're actually doing yourself a huge favor right now, because you're building your avatar for the person that you're going to hire. Rather than hiring people and figuring out what they're going to do, you're going to hire for what you need and fill that with the right person. So first action item today is to just go brainstorm all of the positions within your practice, and then find some semblance of order. So once you've got all of those positions kind of laid out and figured out, now you want to figure out what's their end goal in that position. What is that position designed to accomplish in your practice? If at the end of the day they said, I was successful today, what does that look like? So is it case acceptance from a treatment coordinator, keeping the schedule full? A dental assistant is chairside assisting. A hygienist is seeing patients and giving the quality care that they deserve, things like that. What is their end result? Because now, especially those front office positions, if I'm a dental assistant who needs a treatment plan and I'm new and I'm like, I don't know who to go to, I've got an easy layout of who I can count on for certain things. Now I can go to the right person. So write out all of the positions, current and future positions, and then figure out and write out what their goals of that position are. So figure out the goals, and then you guys plug and play. And I build it out kind of like, I know everybody hates the word pyramid, so it makes you think of like a pyramid scheme,
Yeah.
but that's kind of what it is. It's just a pyramid, you guys. It's a ladder of who to go to next. So if you've got leads in your practice, obviously they're leading every department, each position, and then those people underneath them know to go to the leads. Otherwise, it's going to be doctor, office manager, owners, kind of things like that up at the top. But this will also circumvent all of those people who are coming to you, doctors. Because Dana, don't you have it in every practice where, almost every practice, I can't say every, almost every practice where the doctor's like, oh my gosh, I'm so tired of problem solving. I have a manager. Why do they still come to me?
Mm-hmm.
Do you see that a lot still, Dana?
Yeah. Yep. Or managers saying, hey, my team members always come to me with everything, and they don't ever have discussions with each other first.
Yes.
So yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. And I think the org chart helps to clarify that, so much so that people can count on someone else, and they're not just going to the person that's easiest to get the answer from. And then if it's not you, you don't have the answer, or it's not something you're confident in, or if it's not supposed to be you they come to that question with, you can divert them and send them to the right person, so that you guys are now training one another to be leaders in your own positions, number one. And you're training one another to go to the right people and count on each other. If they can only count on their office manager, they feel like their office manager is the only person that they can get anything from. That's where you have morale issues. That's where you have a team that doesn't unite. That's where you have front office, back office divide, because they're solely responding and communicating with that one person. The rest of the team is like at odds. They just don't trust each other. So when you can build something like this out and build the trust into your team, it seriously helps you guys. So I think, Dana, I usually have them start, like I said, with writing a list of all the positions, figuring out what those goals are, and then plug and play of like order of who should talk to who based on those goals. Is there anything else in there for the simple org chart to get them started that you feel like we need to make sure we do?
I think just a tip, and oftentimes when we create these, I see a lot of offices, they feel like they have to start at the top and work their way down. And it is perfectly okay to start at the bottom and say, hey, who should this person go to, right? What is the next level from the bottom up? So it's okay to tackle it from either way. But I think oftentimes when we build these, we get stuck because we try to start at the top and then we don't know what that middle looks like. So I think if you get a little bit confused there in the middle, start at the bottom and work your way up.
I love that. That was a great pro tip. Good job. I love it. Okay, guys, go do the thing. It's not hard, so don't overcomplicate it. And I'm telling you, the org chart is your baseline for everything. So once you have that created, and it's going to give you a snapshot of your whole practice. So now you see all of the positions that you need job descriptions for, all the positions you need end-of-day sheets, accountability measurements, communication tools. It's going to give you a snapshot of what your business is today and where you want to take it. I know I have a practice that has grown immensely, you guys. They are just doing so well. They've so many things I could tell you about their practice, but we started with an org chart 3 years ago. And we said, okay, guys, this is where we are. This is the org chart of where we want to go. And that was their guiding star. So then they were able to continuously take one position from the where we want to go and add it to the current each time that they hired. And they were like, okay, we're ready for this position now. But they could see the layout and see where they were going. So they've more than tripled their team, and the company's paying for itself, you guys. They have less than 50% overhead most months, and they are a massive practice. They just built out, they just purchased a 16,000 square foot building that they're building, part of it to be the practice. The rest, they're like property managing. I'm telling you, all of that was in our org chart. Like 3 years ago, we started building this out so that they could get to the point where they could build this massive entity and then also add in other companies into their building. So the sky's the limit, but it starts so simply. Like just start simple, start easy, and start with your org chart. So go write down all of your positions, figure out what you have now, if there's something you want to add in there later, and then write out what their goals are. What, at the end of the day, how did they win? And remember, like Dana said, you don't have to start at the top. You don't have to start at the bottom. Just start somewhere and build out from there. And you will have multiple renditions. You'll have multiple renditions today. And for the rest of time, it will continuously change. So Dana, anything else? That was an awesome tip. I love it.
Oh, okay.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Hey, guys, you know the drill. Shout us out. Give us a 5-star review below. We love to hear how the information landed for you and what worked really well for you. If you need help with this or if you just want to chat about it, please reach out. hello@thedentalateam.com. We're here for you.
And that wraps it up for another episode of the Dental A Team podcast. Thank you so much for listening, and we'll talk to you next time.